All right.
Thank you. Okay, we ready, Chris?
We are ready, so feel free.
Okay, good evening. Thank you for joining us. My name is Sue Watson with the Orange County Planning Division. I am the case planner for Future Land Use Map Amendment 2022 2A11 Liki Tiki Village 3. And with us tonight are, as Chris has mentioned, we have Hannah Gutner from Commissioner Nicole Wilson's office. Also with me tonight are Jennifer Dubois. As Chris stated earlier, he's going to be moderating this virtual community meeting. We also have representatives from Orange County Environmental Protection Division, Amanda Hallenbach, and hopefully we'll have someone from Development Engineering Division. The applicant for the proposed amendment, Mr. Dustin Brinkman of KPM Franklin, is representing the property owner, AD5 Commercial LLC, is also here tonight and will be telling you more about the proposal. This community meeting is intended to provide you the chance to hear more about the proposed land use change and raise any questions that you may have about it. This presentation and any questions and answers are being recorded and will be posted on the same website where you register your attendance. There's also the ability to leave any comments or questions that you may have but weren't able to ask during the meeting. At this time, I will ask everyone to mute all microphones where you are so that we have no feedback or echoing issues with the sound. When you are called upon to speak, Chris will activate your audio on our end. If you need to get in touch with us during the meeting, you may either wait until you're called upon or send a raise your hand message to Chris. This is the process for the meeting. Staff and the applicant will make their presentations, which will be followed by a question and answer session. Please note that we have 3 virtual community meetings scheduled for tonight, and each meeting is allotted a half hour. We will answer as many questions as time allows. Please also note that there are multiple opportunities for public comment and participation during the amendment process, and I will provide you with the link to the online public comment forum for this case. At this time, Commissioner Wilson is not with us at this moment, but as her aide, Hannah has stated that she intends to join us a little bit later in the presentation. Thank you. As stated previously, the applicant is Dustin Brinkman, representing the owner of the 57.60 acre subject property, 85 Commercial LLC. The applicant is requesting to change the future land use designation of the site from commercial to growth center planned development medium density residential to allow for the development of 382 multifamily dwelling units. Let's begin with a general overview of future land use and zoning. Every property in the county has a future land use map designation. This designation tells us the general use or long-term vision for a property and regulates the types of uses or development that may be considered. Future land use map designations also identify the maximum residential density of a property or the number of units allowed per acre, as well as the maximum amount of non-residential square footage allowed on a property. Every property also has a zoning designation. Zoning districts are more descriptive planning classifications and must be consistent with future land use map designations. Zoning designations regulate things such as allowed uses, building size, setbacks from property lines, street access, and parking requirements. The subject property is located in District 1. The subject site is located at 17509 Bali Blvd in Commission District 1 on the north side of Bali Boulevard, south of Grove Blossom Way, and west of Avalon Road. Currently, the subject property is being used as a parking lot for the vacation sales call center located across the street. The current future land use designation of the property is commercial, which allows for the consideration of neighborhood and community scale commercial and office development. The proposed future land use designation is Growth Center Planned Development Medium Density Residential, which allows for the development of a multifamily residential development at a maximum density of 20 dwelling units per acre. The property is currently zoned planned development and is identified as Parcel C on the existing Liki Tiki Village 3 planned development land use plan. Parcel C is currently entitled for the development of up to 500 hotel units. The zoning designation of the planned development is not proposed to be changed. On the screen is the process for this application. The future land use map application was received earlier this year. Information about the project is being presented to the public in this current virtual online format. Advance the slide, please, Chris. We like to receive any comments that you may have using the electronic feedback form you will find in the same folder as this presentation. Your comments will help staff to better understand how the proposal might affect the local community and help the applicant make any needed adjustments in response. The Planning and Zoning Commission, sitting as both the PZC and Local Planning Agency, or LPA, will make a recommendation to transmit or not transmit the proposed land use map amendment. The PZC LPA public hearing is scheduled for Thursday, June 16, 2022. Their recommendation will then be forwarded to the Board of County Commissioners, or BCC, which will be held on Tuesday, July 12, 2022. The BCC will make a recommendation to transmit or not transmit the proposed amendment. If the BCC decides to transmit the proposed amendment, it will go to the Department of Economic Opportunity and regional agencies for state and agencies' comments. Afterwards, the proposed amendment comes back to the LPA for an adoption public hearing, which is tentatively scheduled for Thursday, October 20, 2022. The LPA will make a recommendation to the BCC to adopt or not adopt the proposed amendment. The BCC ultimately decides whether to adopt the proposed future land use amendment application. The BCC adoption public hearing is tentatively scheduled for Tuesday, November 15, 2022. Are there any questions about the process? Before you are the dates of the associated public hearings. There are opportunities for public comments starting with the virtual community meeting tonight. Next, there are two transmittal public hearings for this application, one before the LPA on June 16, 2022, and the second one before the BCC on July 12, 2022. If the BCC recommends transmittal, then the amendment is transmitted to the Department of Economic Opportunity and other state agencies to complete their review and provide comments, which are expected in August 2022. After the DEO and the state agencies' comments are received, there will be two adoption public hearings, one before the LPA on October 20, 2022, and the second one before the BCC on November 15, 2022. You'll have an opportunity to make public comments at each of these public hearings. Both boards typically meet in the Commission chambers at the County Administration Building, 201 South Rosalind Avenue in downtown Orlando. You may also email your comments directly to District 1 Commissioner Nicole Wilson or any member of the Board of County Commissioners who will collectively decide whether the future land use change should be adopted. Before calling on the applicant for their comments, I want to remind you that you can also provide questions or comments about this proposed future land use map amendment by using the feedback form located on the web page where you registered to this meeting. The address is www.bit.ly/OC meetings is shown in orange on the screen, and the case is Liki Tiki Village 3. I will now recognize the applicant, Mr. Dustin Brinkman, for more information on the proposal, after which we'll take your questions. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's Dustin Brinkman on behalf of KPM Franklin, representing the owner, AD5 Commercial. Don't really have any documentation to present right now. We're in the kind of early planning stages of the project. But just to give a general synopsis of the site, existing site consists of approximately 57 acres of land, of which about 38 of that land consists of conservation area, conservation easement, which is not developable. So beyond that, there's an existing borrow pit on the site, which will be utilized as a stormwater pond. That's roughly another 6 acres. So of the actual buildable area, it's in the ballpark range of around 9 to 10 acres. We're requesting to go from commercial future land use to a medium density residential, which allows for up to 20 dwelling units per acre. The developable area, including the pond, is 19 acres roughly, so that would allow for a maximum of about 380 dwelling units. However, given the amount of buildable area, it's without exceeding the threshold of a maximum building height, it's highly unlikely to achieve that density. But that is what we're going for, as it is feasible if the right design were implemented. As far as surrounding areas, there were recent approvals for a multifamily development to the northeast. The adjacent property to the west consists of some resorts along with some multifamily residential. We have a large buffer to the south, which is US Highway 192 west. There's an Advent Health just to the southeast. And in summary, I mean, everything within this area is highly consistent with the comp plan amendment and the surrounding areas, such that it provides a well and apt area for the development for multifamily residential. And I think if there was anything else, we'd be glad to answer any direct questions that anyone has pertaining to the ultimate subject development.
Okay, thank you, Dustin. At this time, I'm going to open up the attendees. I'm going to unmute everyone, and then we can just take any questions one by one. So let me go ahead now and see if we can unmute, and then we will kind of go over, ask the first question. All right, so we've unmuted everyone. Does have any questions for the applicant or staff?
He's representing me. I don't need no information.
Hello? Do we have any questions from staff for the applicant? Okay. I'll keep it open for another minute or so. We had a couple folks that muted themselves. So I guess they just didn't have any questions. I have Benjamin Cohen open. I'm not sure if Benjamin's
Yep.
here for this one or
Ben-
the next one.
Yeah, Ben's the representative of the owner.
Okay. All right. Well, at this time, I don't see any questions from the public. Let me check chat to see if anyone has submitted any questions that way. And no questions from anyone at this point in time. Hannah, do you or anyone from the District 1 office have any questions or concerns based on the principle from the presentation from staff and the applicant?
No, thank you. Not at this time, Chris. I really appreciate it, though. Thank you all for taking the time out of your day today. And for any of the residents here, just don't hesitate to reach out to us at district1@ocfl.net. We're here to represent you all, so please don't hesitate to ask any questions or convey any concerns. Thank you.